What's going on, YouTube? Back again for another vid, and I'm kinda happy that we're finally back doing this video. So about a couple of weeks ago, Evo went back on the dyno. Didn't really record too much of it or didn't make a video about it because the Evo just didn't do what it needed to do. Made some decent power and then injected duty cycle randomly shot up to like 30% over what the last pull was. It's almost acting as if it still has an issue, possibly like a pressure thing, or that's what me and Andy have been talking about. So maybe the wiring to the car, to the fuel pump, kind of crapped out, or maybe even the plug that I have inside of the car just kind of gave up on life and, you know, leaked out some pressure. But there was no way to verify that. And then after looking at a couple of things in the car, decided to make some upgrades and then try to retest with all this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of the goodies that we have. We have a pressure sensor and an expansion one for Link, from Link. And this is gonna allow us to see fuel pressure inside of the Link software whenever we're tuning. And he says that he can kind of have the injectors combat low pressure issues, just like be another fail safe. So if we're dropping pressure or there's a larger pressure differential, we can increase the injector duty cycles until, you know, we have something that's gonna hopefully save the motor. And I also got tired of trying to figure out what the fuel pressure is by recording with the camera and doing some pulls or something like that. Another thing that we noticed is the wire coming off of the battery was getting extra hot. I'm thinking it's because of this circuit breaker, because only this portion of the wire is hot. When I had the car in accessory mode, you could actually feel this warm up to the touch, and then when I had it in accessory mode with this, there was no warm up. So there may be something up with this. I'm gonna probably upgrade to like an Eaton or Busman. I'm not really sure. Now, I made a YouTube short about this, but let's go ahead and readdress this in this actual video. This is the fusible link that all Evos kind of come with. This one has been like soldered together for one of the fuses, so whatever was on this connection is always going to have power, and the only way to actually break that power is using that circuit breaker. So thought about running strictly off battery power. I may change my mind after talking with Andy. There's a possibility of something arcing out on the way up to the front of the car, but whatever. What I end up doing is getting a DI Fab Evo X fusible link setup. There's the fusible link, like just kind of, I don't know, just playing around with it. So I like this fusible link because you can have a fuse for each circuit. It just makes it a lot easier or a lot cleaner on the install. And then if you know, one fuse blows, we know exactly where the issue is. I'm hoping that it doesn't blow because a fusible link, I think, is like maybe $50 or something like that, and I really don't want to buy another one. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and install that since we already have the battery relocation. All we have to do is just reconnect that up. The link. There's one more oh, we got a new D-Schwartz hardwire kit. We ended up upgrading to a 40 amp relay. I just wanted to make sure. And then we have 10 gauge wiring going from the relay all the way to the pump. So the old stuff kind of neck down here to like 16 gauge or something like that, 14 gauge. And then this wiring, I checked, it's like XSXL automotive rated wiring. The sheathing kind of makes it look like it's radio wire, so I'm not. Andy was a little cautious about it, and I was already a little weary about it. So upgraded to some new wiring. Just gonna have to repin this connector, and I may decide to run a dedicated ground and power wire to this connector, but I'm not sure. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let's double check this fuel pump for make sure that the plug is still in there, we don't have any leaks, and then go from there. Pulled everything out. Everything looks okay. One thing I will say is this just kind of fell off with no real like effort. I think the retaining like clip thing is somewhere inside of the, what is it called, the fuel tank. I don't know if I did that while trying to pry it off or if it was already loose. So there is that, but everything looks fine. One thing I will say though, E85 is super cold. Like my fingers are like fucking freezing right now. But even with the gloves on, so yeah, just gonna put all this back together and I don't even know how to say it, man. All right, got that all back together. Now we're gonna go ahead and install this 40 amp relay and this wiring kit onto the plug. Now, one thing I will say about this, I think this is a D-Works like heavy duty kit. This is pretty much the same as any other kit. Comes with 30 amp fuse and all that, but I do like the fact that this has the sheathing, and also that we have 10 gauge going into from the battery into the relay and then back into the actual plug or pump. So no step down. I'm not gonna show you guys this, but I wanted to showcase that we're upgrading the relay to a 40 amp. We probably don't need it, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Last thing about this, so this like silver wire is one of the reasons that we wanted to go ahead and upgrade. Now, after doing some research, hopefully I don't look like super crusty, but after doing some research, turns out that might not be an issue. Maybe like marine grade wire and maybe some automotive wire comes tin coated just to kind of protect it from corrosive environments. Like, I think tin is resistant to like salt water and stuff like that, so tin coated wire is really prevalent in like marine applications. You know, being on a boat, being on the ocean, you're gonna deal with salt water and all types of shit all the time. So I think some manufacturers do that just to prevent that. And our first thought when we seen that was that this was speaker wire, because a lot of speaker wire is actually like aluminum. But if you look real close right here, you can see the copper strands on the inside. And then I think when I looked at the rating or whatnot, specifically called out the fact that this is copper wire plated in tin. So just be kind of wary about that. Don't panic like I did whenever you see silver wire. New relay in. Got it just sitting here for now. Ended up going to the same new grounding point that I made for the battery. The old grounding point for the battery was on one of these studs, and these just go directly through the body of the car. So if you look at all the brown and BS down there, that's just like the rust from like standing in water and stuff like that. So obviously water's been getting in there. The connection that was there was pretty shitty, so I just went ahead and grinded some paint down next to the battery, put the battery grounding point right there, and I put it in accessory mode. After I did that, everything kind of actually was grounded pretty well. I don't know if it was that or the fact that I removed that fusible link with the BS weld solder on there, but the electrical system was pretty happy. So since we did that, let's go ahead and move on to installing this fuel pressure sensor. ECU is right here. You can see this wire right here with the loop. That's actually the map sensor, and it's already going through I don't know if you can see it, but a grommet into the engine bay on the firewall. Kind of back there. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but where those two vacuum lines are going through, that's where the MAF sensor is going through. We're gonna pretty much just reuse that. I think I'm just gonna kind of like twist the wires and just call it a day. But let's get this out and then figure out what we're actually gonna do. ECU's out. It's just 3 bolts. 2 at the top, that one right at the bottom. Pry this plate off, and then you have to pry the case open, like in between here, and just pull this plate out. Once this plate comes out, the whole ECU comes forward from the enclosure. Bam. That plate comes off, ECU comes out. Feed it through here. Oh no, this was digital. This one's auxiliary and analog. So we're gonna have to use this because we're gonna use a AN volt connection for fuel pressure sensor. Everything back together. Ended up taking a picture of the loom and the connector right here, just for my reference. Got to make sure I know what I'm plugging into what. Right now I know I need that 5 volt ground, 5 volt power and ground, and then one of the AN voltages. I think I just choose whatever one, so I'm gonna probably choose like 6 or whichever one was down there, and then we can feed those through the firewall and go from there. So kind of twisted these together also because it's just easier to maneuver 3 wires that way. But now we have to figure out where we're actually going to put this. Now here's my issue. I want to put it on the actual fuel pressure regulator, like right here. But I think that'll mess with how I drain my catch can. We're going to have to see how much clearance we actually have to actually drain our catch can. All right, make sure you guys hit it with some Teflon. I like the tape. Some people like the paste, whatever. Just make sure you do that. Otherwise, you're gonna be leaking fuel. So now that we did that, let's go ahead and unscrew one of these plugs and put this in there. All right, sensors installed. It looks like we may actually still have some room to get our hand in here. We'll probably just have to make sure this is unplugged every time we need to do that. So now let's go ahead and just get some pins on here. One of these connectors pretty much just fell off. And they only give you 3 in that pack, assuming that you're not gonna be stupid like me and mess it up. So we're gonna have to leave that and move on to this DI fab install. Just move all this stuff out the way. It uses the old battery tray, top 2 bolts, and then you're gonna mount on the top of the trans mount. Not sure if the battery tray uses that, but if it does, you're gonna reuse everything from the battery tray. All right, so don't do what I did, or you'll be doing what I just did. The pedestal needs to be mounted onto the bracket first because it just makes it easier this way, honestly, bro. It's probably easier to just do this and install everything, but that's obviously going to be a pain in the ass trying to get up underneath. So we're going to go ahead and install the pedestal first and then install the bracket into the car. Everything's pretty much mounted. Even doing it this way, you're still going to have an issue with this bolt back here. That back bolt is still hard to reach, so I ended up using like a ratcheting wrench with a flex head. Well, I think we're going to kind of hold off on all of this because look what I just found. You know, that looks okay until you realize you can fucking swivel it, bro. What happened? What is going on? Yeah, I just don't even know what to say about this. It's going on 2 days after I last picked up this camera. What we have so far, 150 amp fuse. Kind of flicked the fuse and everything kind of checked out. The battery side of the fuse was 11.8 and then to the low side was 11.8. That's what everything kind of disconnected for now. So there isn't any real voltage drop across the fuse, unlike this one, which was literally half a volt with nothing connected. That's a good sign so far. We have to wrap this up. So this, as you can see, needs to go here. Now everybody has their own way of doing this, but we're gonna have to notch this and then do the same thing on here. And this cover is on there. All right, this we came up with. We just kind of like cut this with like snips. It's all just plastic, so it should be pretty easy. Then we cut out a decent portion of this so that we can slide right over and then slide this back a little bit and it should fit right in here. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and put all this stuff on. All right, and here's the finished product, man. ACD on the 80 amp fuse. That's the small ring terminal. The ACD pump, if you have ACD, is on the like terminal with a flap. The flap will fit in there if you bend it slightly up. You know how well you can see that. Fuse box is on this own terminal right under the starter and the fusible link. This is the main fuse for the fuse box, so it doesn't make sense to put it on another fuse. That's just unnecessary voltage drop. So for now this is done, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, get us a test start and see if everything is wired up correctly, everything works fine. Then we can kind of test some voltages across everything and make sure we're not having like a crazy voltage drop like we were with the old fuse for the main cable. That half a volt is insane. So car turns on and we're not heating up, so we're good. Check voltages, they all look okay. There's no real voltage drop even going from up front to the back. I think it's only like a 0.2 of a volt. Listen to how fast this starter cranks though. I wasn't even trying to turn the car on. Bro, the car, I just wanted to turn it, you know, just a couple clicks, just so you can hear how fast it spins over. But it's never spun that fast, even with like the full voltage on the car. So this rewire is definitely needed. It was obviously some kind of electrical gremlins, but I think we solved most, if not all, those gremlins right now. I'm gonna go meet my boy Jordan. He just got a new car, so he want to show me the new whip. We're gonna link up with him and then I guess see how the car drives overall on the way towards it. The car definitely drives the same. There's not really a difference, bro. It just feels normal, so I guess that's a plus. I think the only thing that I'm really noticing about this right now is I think the AFRs are a little bit off. Like the car has a little bit more fuel, and maybe that's because the injectors have a better like pulse going to them with the upgraded wiring or upgraded voltage. So that's definitely something that's gonna have to be checked out. Let me hit you with the, I know y'all seen my boy Jordan, but look at how he coming now, bro. He just swapped over to the fucking
bro. You see that red badge right there?
What are you talking about? You see the red R?
No, you got these regular. Look, see the key, bro? A regular Civic. A Civic. A regular Civic.
They couldn't at least swap this shit for like kind of R badge right there or something.
I know. They cheaped out.
Bro, that swap to the type. Go ahead, crack it open, man. These buckets look extra stiff, man. These look.
The Evos were worse, bro. This one is a completely different. They were cracking right there too.
And I think that's just all like buckets. Yeah. Maybe it might have been a fat dude though.
No, actually, the person who had this car had it since the car came out. Like
well, I'm saying though, they might have been fat if they.
No, they weren't. It was a really slim person. It was a lady too.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so she had the car the whole entire time since 2018 till now. And then she finally just gave it up and got it.
So it's an 18. Oh, so she got an FL5.
Plus?
Yeah.
Shark Plus? Shit. Yeah, those are short as hell too.
She did absolutely nothing at all.
It's nothing, bro. It's all stuck. It doesn't do your warranty, bro. I can't even do shit with her. That's the first thing when I looked at it, bro. I'm like nothing at all. It's all
completely fucking stock.
Okay.
Bro went from bro swapped a 500 horsepower Evo X for a fucking FK8. Stop FK8.
No, don't kill me.
Let me know if this is a downgrade.
I think it is, but I don't think it is at the same time.
It's a downgrade for now.
Yeah.
Just power wise, like you get all the like newer. Hold on.
I wonder what would like not void the warranty.
Wheels. Wheels and that's it. An exhaust maybe. Cause how quiet is it?
Bro, it's way quiet, bro. Bro, I got home and the girl was like, I didn't even know you were home at all.
Is this supposed to be
a little fake on this too?
You think this fake?
Yeah, it is.
And it seems like it came on the car like that.
Well, it comes with the car, but it's just not fake.
How would they put fake carbon on here? I feel like that's all. It still feel fake. It don't feel like vinyl.
Yeah.
It feel like the wing on the Evo. A little warm start. A little hot start. Oh nah. Oh no. Don't even rev it, bro. Bruh. Man, it's a sad day, bro. Shout out to Jordan for getting that Type R. Pretty clean. I don't know if it's an upgrade or a downgrade, but I'm always an advocate for trying out all the cars that you want. I got attachment issues, so that's the only reason I still have the Mustang, and probably gonna have the Evo for a pretty long time. But if you can, if you're in the position, go ahead and try any other car, especially if you're into cars, man. I think that's really what it's all about. Go ahead and trying all these different cars. There's just so much variety. So shout out to him. Yeah, this battery relocation actually went pretty well. Voltage across the entire car is 14.2. I measured that across the actual battery points. I measured it from the negative to here, and then up there, the actual top post where the main power cable is coming in, it's still 14.2. So if we're losing voltage, it's like 0.2. Hopefully next time we go on the dyno, there's literally 0 issues and the car performs phenomenal, and then we can actually be done with all this tuning fiasco before the winter actually comes. I'll see y'all on the next one.